Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, you are joining us. This is Dating Differently with
Demi.
and Dr. Conti. We are excited to be here today. As always, every week we are. We have a good one for you again. And we're going to be talking today about the cost of dating. Call all your friends, your buddies, your gal friends, your guy friends, everybody, because we got something to talk to you about. It's going to be hot. All right. So many of you know that both Demi and I have combined both of our creative expertises and our strategic roadmaps so that we can help you. First of all, we want you to prepare for healthy relationships and healthy love so that you can confidently choose with clarity, not guessing, not trying to figure it out, but choose with clarity and sustain the right relationships. Because everybody want to be in relationships, but we want you in healthy, good relationships. And so today's topic, and we are coming to our empty nesters, we're coming to our widows, widowers, we're coming to our second time arounders, all of that. And so sometimes we don't realize when we get in these dating situations the real cost of it. So it can cost you time, it can cost you your peace, it can cost you confidence, it can cost you emotional energy, it can cost you quite a bit. So before you say yes, you might want to ask yourself, what is this relationship going to cost me? What you say, Demi?
Well, you said a mouthful because it really is all of that. So which one do I want to start with?
Hmm.
What I'm going to throw it to you. I know we were having a conversation about um, the emotional safety part of it.
Mhm, mhm,
And, I always say, people are really, truly strangers.
mhm, mhm.
Whether, no matter how long, no matter if we've talked to them every day or text back and forth for a few weeks. So let's just start with the foundations,
Mhm,
the foundation of things. One of the scary parts or something that's uncomfortable is online dating, right?
mhm.
Online dating. You get there and people are already a little leery because you really are talking to people and not sure who they are. And most of
Mhm,
you, I always say you want to make sure you do a quick FaceTime to meet
mhm.
each other, right?
Right.
But when you do get to that end of the week, you want to meet in person, the important thing is meeting in a public space. You want
Yes.
to meet somewhere where it's public. You want to meet during the day. You have breakfast, meet in the lunch counter, take a walk during the day at a park,
Yeah.
go where there's people. But not only that, one of the things I know Conti and I did is I share my location with her.
And
When
vice versa.
Yeah, when we were dating and doing things, we would take screenshots of their profile, and I'd say, "Okay, this is who I'm meeting. This is a little bit of background that I learned about them."
Mhm.
But you wanna tell someone about what's going on. I know you had a case study that we talked about,
Yeah.
but we wanna talk about the first thing is really the physical safety of
Yeah.
all of it because there's a cost to that.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. The physical safety, particularly, you all know, for many years now, I have founder and owner of Domestic Violence Agency. And so right now with trafficking being so heavy and again, online dating does not have to be scary. It just has to be safe. And
Right.
this particular study, and you guys may have heard about it on the news, the young lady met someone online. They talked for a while. She felt like, I guess, safe enough to have him to pick her up from her house. And they went to a movie. They had planned a movie date and they went to a movie, but he did not bring her back home.
Mhm.
And her mom, she did let her mom know that she had was going on this first time date with this young man. And so when she didn't get the call back from her mom, when her mom didn't get the call back from her, of course she got concerned. And it turns out that they pinged her phone and realized that he had taken her way off somewhere and dumped her body, killed her. and then I think even dismembered her and dumped her body somewhere uh, way out in the field. And so, one of the first things that when I heard that, I was like, and me and Demi talk a lot about this, was never to allow someone to know your home location that fast. You're still, as we say, dating differently is gathering information. And so she was still getting to know this person, even if you talked on the phone a lot. If you've gone on a first date, um, it still doesn't constitute inviting that person into your space. This doesn't go for women. This goes for men too. Just as easily could be a crazy female coming to your house, and then it doesn't work out. Now she may be stalking you, or you constantly coming to your house unannounced or uninvited. So it's for your safety in many different reasons.
And let's just talk about, then let's roll into that emotional cost, right?
Mhm.
Because you should feel comfortable, and it should be okay that you can be honest around the person.
Mhm.
You can say, I know I've said before, you're a stranger. I don't know you. And
Mhm.
I'm not going to ride in a car with you. And you
Mhm.
should be able to say no without any type of guilt. That includes,
Mhm.
if they ask you over to their place.
Right.
And so you need to know, do they respect you? Do they
Mm.
respect your space, your peace? And you can disagree respectfully also. So if they say, well, I think I should be able to pick you up, maybe you should think about, is that the right person for me? Because you want to feel emotionally safe,
Mhm.
safe enough to be yourself and to share, you're not comfortable. And we talk about slow being the new sexy,
Mhm.
which is extremely important.
Yes, yes, yes. I always want to invite everybody to say hello to us. Again, we see some of you that are on here. Hello, those who have already said hello to us. But those who are watching who haven't said hello, please just say hi. You can tell us where you're watching from, or just say hi. We don't really always see who's all watching if you don't make a comment. So we just want to say hi and see who's joining in on us. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, you know, a lot of times we will just assume again that the person is nice and they're kind and this is a safe person. But uh women quickly will invite someone to the home, even do maybe a dinner somewhere that's personal and at their house. And those things are exactly what we talk about being safe. But when it comes to the emotional thing, the emotional safety,
Mhm.
a lot of times people think that finances is the biggest cost, and we will definitely talk about that too. But the wrong person could cost you a lot emotionally, could cost you your time, could cost you your calmness in your spirit, can cost you to not feel secure. and
Mhm.
and so if you don't feel secure and emotionally safe, then that's something that you might want to always listen to. We always talk about that internal navigation system. That is your internal nervous system saying, "Hey, something about this isn't right." And so, uh, to feel more peaceful in a relationship, you want to make sure that your nervous system isn't going off. You're not having this anxiety, or there's not confusion. It is what it is. It's sometimes when it feels like it's not making sense, it's because it's not making sense. And so if there's a lot of confusion, if there's a lot of you have to wonder, guess, figure out. I always say I help heal minds. I don't read minds. I don't like to try to figure things out except if it's a puzzle. But when you're getting to know people, you want to look at those things. Are you constantly second guessing what's going on? Because we talk about clarity in the introduction. We says we want to make sure that you're choosing with clarity. And so if you're overthinking it, this is an emotional cost. If you're walking on eggshells, this is an emotional cost. If you are emotionally exhausted when you get off the phone, or when
Yeah.
you leave that first, second, third, fourth, fifth date, there is obviously some emotional red flags that you want to have to step back and look and say, hey, what is going on? This hot and cold behavior, I'm not really confident with or comfortable with, or this silent treatment, I'm not comfortable. We had a good conversation, and now I haven't heard from him in 2 or 3 days, and he's like having a silent, and I don't know what's going on. Like it's a silent treatment, or manipulation, or gaslighting. We've heard of all those topics and those terms, and in my field, I'm constantly saying, if you want to be emotionally safe, you need consistent communication. It needs to make you feel comfortable and secure, even in just the conversation.
So we were talking a little bit of online dating. So, I'm always going to try to hop back over there too. But there
Absolutely.
is also a hidden cost of attention, because
Mm,
one of the biggest surprises that I think happens when you're brand new, right? And we know we're fresh meat. We've been
uh-huh.
married for 20 something, 30 years. We've
Yeah.
been investors. We're new out here, right? So you fresh meat. And and one of the biggest
That's
surprises
me.
that I think that happens when you get on these apps is you come up as someone new to match with. And
Hmm.
people can see that. And if you
Hmm.
haven't dated in a long time, you'll see that you're getting all of these matches. You're getting, a
Hmm.
lot of pings. You're getting a lot of people looking for or looking to get your attention. And if you've been in a long-term relationship, maybe spent years focused on family, on a career, and then suddenly your phone starts lighting up like that because you get pinged every time, and you're getting all these matches, you're getting all these likes, you're getting a lot of compliments, right? What happens? The attention you've never experienced before at first feels super exciting. It's
Hmm.
like it can't even feel like it just feels so, I don't even know how to explain it to you.
Invigorating. I'm hot again. I
Invigorating.
haven't, I haven't lost it.
Yes. Um, but if you're not careful, you'll mistake that attention for connection.
Hmm.
You'll mistake it.
Yeah.
Many dating apps naturally give newer profiles more visibility.
Hmm.
So the attention can
That's
come,
good, Demi. That's good
yeah,
about the apps. Yeah,
it
that's good
is.
information. Yeah.
But suddenly you can find yourself juggling 6, 7 conversations all at once through text or through phone. And
Hmm.
not because they're all great matches, but because it feels good to be wanted.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's where intentional dating begins to disappear for some people.
Hmm.
It really does, because you forget what those steps are, why it's important to have non-negotiables, because you're super excited. And instead of really evaluating compatibility, you're managing notifications.
Mm,
Instead of reflecting, you're responding. Instead
mm.
of choosing wisely, you're simply trying to keep up. And so, I want to throw a question. You always do that. One of the questions I want to ask our listeners tonight is, have you ever enjoyed attention so much that you stopped dating intentionally?
Mm. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Collecting those matches.
So you enjoying the intention so much that you stop dating intentionally, meaning you're not looking at your standards anymore.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the things that's most important to you. You're not looking at the things that you want anymore in a relationship. And so, yeah, that's a very important question. Hello, everyone. Glad to see you, Dr. Rob and Sydney and Todd. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, all of that is when you talked about Demi, the having
Mhm.
all these people contact you online,
Mhm.
it brought something new to me to think about as well, the cost of your confidence.
That part. Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, you may have all these people at first you match, and then they don't call you back, or they don't want to talk to you online,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you don't hear anything. So that then all of a sudden you get this deflated, you know, bubble. Like, what happened? Is something wrong with me? So, or you get to talking to someone and there's criticism or inconsistency or they're comparing you with the ex or the wife or the last person, or you feel like there's some type of neglect. All of those things can cause also the hidden feeling of a loss of your confidence.
It can. And really think of it the cost of losing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because it all feels so good and the validation feels good, but it can become addictive.
Mm-hmm.
And then at times you, and I say this because I am a woman and speaking how a woman would think, maybe, um, we began performing instead of simply just being ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you see it, you're online, it's kind of no different than maybe social media. You start to post pictures that represent who we don't really post the pictures that represent who we really are.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like we maybe are needing to compete, and
Mm-hmm.
we look at those type of photos or things that we feel will receive more attention,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so we start changing our whole personality. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we laugh louder or harder. We flirt differently.
Mm-hmm.
We pretend to enjoy things that we normally wouldn't. And
Yep.
we say yes rather than saying no, not because that's who we are, but because we don't want the attention to stop.
Mm-hmm. And so little by little, you lose a sense of self.
Yeah.
So that can cost your sense of self. You're absolutely right. And that's the most dangerous cost. That's the most dangerous because we're out here newly dating and trying to date different. Again, many of us in this age group, like I always say, starting over, a second time arounders, divorcees, widowers. And so the greatest tragedy isn't losing the relationship. The greatest tragedy is losing yourself trying to keep a relationship.
It
That is,
really is.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah, trying to keep a relationship that really probably wasn't even meant to be kept. This is why we have to take our time, get to know people, enjoy the ride. But the minute you feel like it's not aligning with you, be comfortable with saying this is not aligning, and and it's okay. But sometimes, again, because many of us are like you say, fresh meat.
Fresh meat. We fresh. Look, I have to say, the goal isn't to become a version of yourself that gets the most matches. It really is becoming this version of yourself that attracts the right match.
That attracts the right match, and that's what's important. We always go back to number 22, and for those who've been watching us long enough, you know that Demi, our online experiences is what we share. And so it took her dating online to get to number 22, who is now her partner in this love game that we play, or love life that we're in. And matter of fact, I actually love him, so let me just say that I actually love him. However, when we are doing this, you have to take, we talk about 22 people. I can't go out with 22 people.
I was going to say, yes. 22 wasn't 22 boyfriends or
yes, it wasn't 22 boyfriends. 22. It was 22 meet and greets. It was 22 people that matched with her. Everybody that matched with you is not a match. So you have to give it some time, or go out or meet. And sometimes you meet or you match and you don't even have to meet. It's not a match. But this is the important thing is the old way. And we talked about this before. The old playbook. The first person you meet right out the gate, back in the old days, you think, okay, this is the one. Because many of us have got married very young, or right out of high school, or been with someone for many years. Today it's different. We're learning differently and meeting different people, and people have different perceptions of what they want, and everybody's not always honest. So we have to be very, very careful with that. I want to pop up here. Dr. Rob said, too much attention gives a case of the
big-headedness.
But it's not real. It's a fictional world we create for ourselves. Good point. It
really is.
That's right. That's the other thing too. Mm-hmm. When we talk about emotion, um, and the cost of emotion. That's why you have to keep your emotions emotionally regulated. Emotionally regulated. I literally was talking to someone uh, recently that I had coached a while back, and so we just saw each other, and she said, "Hey, let me ask you a question. I've seen you dating differently. Let me ask you a question." And she said, "Hey, just in inbox, I'm talking to someone, and I thought it was going to be more than what it is." And he's blatantly saying, "Well, I'm recently out of something. This is not I'm not ready for it to go, into a full-fledged relationship, but I wouldn't be spending money on you and taking you out if I wasn't really interested." So, y'all know what my thing is. Just because someone is spending money on you and taking you out, and they're saying with their mouth, y'all remember I always say we have one mouth, two eyes, and two ears for a reason. And you're watching and you're listening and you're seeing that he is saying he doesn't want a relationship right now.
Yeah.
Please be true to yourself. That's one of the things me and Demi talk about too online. If you're matching and they say they want something casual and you're wanting something long term or a life partner, then that shouldn't be a part of your 22 or 5 or 6 or 10. Right, Demi?
I mean, you said it. That's one of the other costs, right? The cost of honesty.
Oh, that's a good one. The cost of
Cost of
honesty.
honesty.
Yeah.
Because honesty takes courage, and a lot of people don't have it. We talk about the different faces. I always say that dating in 1986 isn't like 2026. Ghosting feels easier, but sometimes we avoid the difficult conversations because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Right.
You said that if you have a conversation, maybe the conversation is great over the phone, right? But then when you meet, it doesn't kind of transfer to that in person. It's kind of weird. It's real strange. It just isn't the same. But avoiding conversation often hurts them even more. When you continue to hang out with them or continue to take the calls, it doesn't mean, and we talk about this. I'm okay with blocking people just because I'm not trying to collect friends. Conti says, you don't block people.
You don't have to block everybody,
But I always say the bottom line is, tell someone they might be just a nice person. And just because they're that nice person doesn't mean they're the nice
we always say that.
But there is a cost to honesty. Yeah, because we would want that person to do the same with me. I know I've had, someone say to me, I'm not what you're looking for. Great. Just save me time, because that's a cost.
Exactly. Yes. And then being honest is important because like you said, it could cost you time. And a lot of times when people aren't honest because they really want their cake and eat it too. And that's what can cost you. If you don't be strong, if you're not strong in what it is that you want and your boundaries and your standards, it could cost you time. While we're watching this, what has it cost you so far as we're learning? Because this is a dating process. Many of us are on number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the dating game after a widower or after a divorce or after a second, empty nester. Put in the chat what so far you've learned, because it may have cost you something. Has it cost you time? Has it cost you? Because there's a risk. And we said this before, to find that love, to find the one that you really want, it may cost you something. It may cost you a few dollars, or it may cost you some time. But be honest, and even if you're honest with yourself, because you don't want it to cost your peace. You don't want it to cost your mental and emotional stability. And when Demi talk about costing time, the one thing that we can never get back is time. Every month, every year that you spend with the wrong person in the wrong relationship, trying to create something, time is being spent and it's growing. And so you want to make sure that you're just not wasting. And I hate to say wasting because there's still a growth in it, but you're not losing time, I should say. Because the
Exactly.
wrong person doesn't just waste time, it delays your future. It delays the right person, could be right around the corner, but you're caught up and you're tied up with something that is that's not aligning with you.
Yeah, it's blocking you. And a quick, honest no is really kinder than a slow, confusing maybe. And dating intentionally also means ending things intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's kind of what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the things you talked about the risk, and that gets really scary, especially when you find that 22, when you find that person that really feels like this is going to work. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a cost to opening your heart, to
Being
being
vulnerable. Mm-hmm.
twin.
Between we think like being vulnerable. You're right. Mm-hmm.
It really is. Every time you said, every time we date, you take a risk. I was thinking about that. And the moment we decide, okay, we're going to become emotionally invested
Mm-hmm.
and we've already paid something, I think that initially always happens. And that vulnerability um, isn't weakness. I will say that it isn't.
Right.
It's the admission price to really finding a genuine connection.
Right.
The
And I like
challenge,
that, the genuine connection. Yeah.
genuine connection. But I'd say the challenge in that is learning to remain hopeful without
Mm-hmm.
becoming really emotionally attached before someone has earned that
Right.
place
Like
in
that.
our lives.
That's
And
right.
it's something you have to juggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you're not sure, I know you're going to say this at the end, that's why you want to book a session with us.
That's why you have a book session.
That's why you want to
You
book a session
know,
with us.
Valerie said her marriage costs her peace, time, and almost her life. And
Mm,
so again, that's a lot that it can cost you.
mhm.
Uh, you're more than welcome to put anything else in what it costs you if it was in a dating situation or not a marriage that didn't align with you. Um, but again, the whole point is we want to make sure that this time, this time around, the
Yeah.
next time, which is this time, we want to make sure that you're doing it a little differently. You're doing it with your eyes wide open. You're doing it with wisdom. And I always say wisdom is twofold. It's knowing what to do. That's the first part of wisdom. But the second part is having the courage to do what you know. And one of the things that Demi said too earlier is if you realize it's not working, having the wisdom and the courage to say, hey, this has been great, but we're not aligned, so that you can find, like she said also, that genuine connection that we're all looking for, that we're all looking for.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what ask yourself this, and that, as we're doing this process, what is this relationship giving me? And a better question is, what is this relationship costing me?
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love, I love that.
So we always are glad to have you all as always. And so listen, if you're new watching, tell your friends, tell your buddies, your coworkers, whoever it is, especially if they're dating or if they're single, they're divorcee, if they're divorced, widowers or widows, and or empty nesters. A lot of us kids have graduated from high school, college, or what have you, and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs thinking about dating, and you are scared to death. We got you. We got you right here. So
Yeah.
make sure you join us. If this conversation spoke to you, be sure to follow us and join us on the Dating Differently Facebook page. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube pages. Also, follow us both on social media platforms. And listen, if you want help, whether it's dating online, whether it's knowing the signs, whether it's getting yourself in a healthier place to accept and receive the love, the genuine love that you deserve, book a session with either one of us to get those things moving and grooving in your direction. And join us next week as we continue giving strategies to date with clarity, move with intentions, choose confidence. We look forward to continuing to help you love intentionally,
heal completely, and date
differently. Bring your friends next week. I want all y'all to bring 10 people.